If you're struggling with low back pain, then this stretching routine will help you get some much needed relief. Hi everyone and welcome to Exercise for Health. I'm Richard and today I have a short stretching routine for you to follow to help relieve low back pain and stiffness. If you're new to this channel, we offer tips, advice and exercises each week to help you manage your health condition with physical activity. So go ahead and tap the subscribe button below and the bell icon if you want to be notified of when we upload a new video. Now it will be best to do this routine in the evening as it's performed in a relaxed manner, so more effective after a day's activities. Only move yourself into a position though that's pain-free, so if any stretch causes pain, then don't do it. And these stretches may not be suitable for anyone with a more serious spinal condition. You only need a bit of floor space to do the 6 stretches, so get yourself ready and let's get started. Right, we're going to start off this stretching routine laid down on your back because we're going to start with some knee tucks. So just get yourself in a comfortable position, lying down on your back, and then from there what I want you to do is you're going to grab hold of both shins effectively just below the knees to try and bring the knees up towards your chest, creating like a little bit of a saucer shape with your spine. So if you grab both legs just below the knees and then from there just gently start to pull the knees up towards the chest, allowing the bottom and the lower back just start to lift up off the floor. So we're getting that tuck. And then try and relax your breathing in that position. If you're like me and you're carrying a little bit of weight around your tummy, this might be a bit uncomfortable with your breathing. So just try and relax the breathing. We're going to hold each stretch for about 15 to 20 seconds just to try and release the tension of the muscles in the lower back. So if you find in that time you can just move yourself a little bit more to get deeper into the stretch, then you can do that. Good. And then slowly ease that off, letting the feet drop back down to the floor. Right, the next one we're going to do is we're going to do a rotation of the pelvis. So that you can do this in one of 2 different ways. You can either do it with your feet together and then from there just relax your shoulder blades back down on the floor and the head on the floor, and then you're going to drop both knees over to one side, which will lift the bottom up on one side of the body, but making sure that the shoulder on that side stays flat on the floor, and that will create a little bit of a stretch into this lower part of the back on this one side. If you find that doesn't really stretch it very much, the alternative is to straighten out the bottom leg and then this time bring the knee up a little bit higher and let it go across. So the hips bent at 90 degrees. And as you let the knee then drop over that way, it will just create a little bit more of a stretch for you in the lower part of the back. So I'll let you choose which way you want to do it. They are effectively the same, just this way slightly more intense. Again, try and relax the breathing while you hold that position. Make sure that that shoulder doesn't come up off the floor. So we're trying to keep the shoulder blades flat on the floor. Good, and then bring it back to the center. Let's do the same on the other side. I'll do the other one this time. So just dropping the knees over to the opposite side, or again, just the one knee if you're doing it with the other leg straight. Make sure that you keep the shoulders flat on the floor, particularly on the one on the opposite side to the way your knees are dropping. And you should feel that little bit of a stretch here into the lower part of the back. Okay, as with all these stretches, try and make sure you relax your breathing because that will help to release the tension in the long run. Good. And then slowly bring it back up to the center. So back to your start position. Right, the next one we're going to do is we're going to stretch the muscle down the back of the leg, this hamstring muscle group. So for this one, if you straighten out one leg, and then the one we're going to stretch, I want you to grab just behind the back of the thigh, above the back of the knee, and you're going to flex the hip as much as you can first. So that basically means we're going to draw the knee up towards the chest as high as you can first. When it won't go any further and you've reached your limit, then you're going to start to straighten your leg using these muscles on the front of the thigh. Start to think about straightening the knee, and then you should feel stretch here where you've got your hands on this hamstring muscle group down the back of the leg. So where they attach on the pelvis, they can have an effect on the lower back. So I want to try and see if we can maintain the flexibility of those muscles. So again, just hold it still. It might shake a little bit if where your muscles are activating on the front of the thigh. about 15 to 20 seconds. Relax your breathing. Good. Release that one back down. Let's switch over to do the same the other side. So grab hold of the leg behind the back of the knee. Flex the hip first, so we're bringing the knee up as close as you can to the chest. And then once it won't go any further, just start to think about straightening the knee until you can feel the stretch where you got your hands on the back of the leg. And again, hold it there. Try and relax your breathing. Good, and release off. Let that drop back down. Right, the next one we're going to do is a figure 4 stretch, and this one's to stretch a muscle called piriformis, which is deep around the side of the hip. So for this one, if you start with your feet flat on the floor, lift one foot up and bring it across onto the opposite knee. So allowing this knee to just drop out the side to make this triangle shape between your legs. You're going to put your hand through the gap to grab hold of the leg that's still on the floor. So I've got hold of the back of the thigh, and I'm going to start to draw that knee up towards me. So I'm bringing this foot that's up on the knee, so I'm trying to bring it up towards my head, and that will then generate a stretch here around this side of the hip. So again, once you feel it, hold it in that position, nice and relaxed. Good, and then release that one back off. Okay, switch over. So we're bringing the foot across onto the opposite knee first of all to create this triangle shape with the legs. Take the hands through the gap to grab hold of the thigh, and then start to think about pulling that leg towards you to bring this foot towards your head. Some of you might be a lot more flexible than I am. My mobility is not particularly great in my hips and back, so I'm not moving very much, but you might be able to find you can get this foot a little bit closer to you. As long as you can feel the stretch around the side of the hip. Good. And then release off. Okay, right, for the last two, we're going to flip over onto our front. So next one we're going to do is a cobra position, but we're going to start off on the elbows. So you're going to lie down on your front. Okay, just relax the legs off, and you want your elbows to be directly underneath your shoulders to start off with. You can have your hands flat on the floor as well. And then the movement from there is I'm just going to try and push myself up. So I'm making sure that my pelvis is staying flat on the floor, so I'm not lifting that up. I'm just trying to create this arch into my spine and my lower part of my back as I come up. Now, if you don't feel that in the lower back, if you've got better mobility, you may find you can go into a full cobra, which is instead of doing it on your elbows, you can then put your hands just either side of the chest and then push yourself up this way, okay, if you've got better mobility. So again, I'll let you choose which way you prefer to do it to feel that stretch. You might feel a little bit of a stretch into your abdominals as well down the front of the stomach. Good. Okay, slowly release off. Let the body go back down. And then the last one we're going to do is the child's pose. So for this one, if you start off with, come up onto all fours. And then from there, you're going to take your hands just a little bit further forwards in front of you, keeping your arms straight. And you're going to let the bottom then drop down towards the heels of the feet. So we'll drop them right back to get that stretch either side of the back first of all. And just relax there. Try and keep your bottom down close to the heels of your feet. And then what we're going to do in a second is we're going to start to move the hands across to one side. So just move your hands across the floor, just reaching across to one side so you can feel the stretch down the opposite side of the back. Again, we'll hold it there for a few seconds. Relax your breathing. Good. And then bring the hands back across through the center and then take them over to the left so you can increase the stretch more on the right side this time. Again, still make sure that the bottom's not lifted away from the heels of the feet, so try and keep the bottom down. Feel the stretch on the side of the back. Good. Bring the hands back to the center, bring them back in, let your hips come back up. Brilliant, well done, and you finished your stretching routine. I hope this stretching routine has provided you with some much needed relief from your back pain and has helped you relax. If you enjoyed it, then please give it a like by clicking the thumbs up button below to help this channel grow. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to stay active, keep moving, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video today, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click here to subscribe to this channel or click here to watch a recent video. See you soon.